Hey, Citra, thanks so much for tuning in to COVID Wellbeing. This is episode 8, and we are glad that you are joining us once again. We hope that in the next few weeks, we're going to transition out of COVID Wellbeing and back into our typical wellbeing videos. And so today, we don't have a lot of new information to report. We just want to talk about some of the existing things that are in place, one or two things that might be new to you, but again, just want to start to talk about processes that have been established during COVID that will continue through the end of the year. One of those is the alteration to our Well Power Incentive Program. So those, Aubrey has talked about that for several weeks. Those particular milestones or measurements that you're looking to get from 100 points have been decreased down to 50 points. So we encourage you to go and to visit and to make sure that you're still working towards that discount and still participating in the Well Power Incentive Campaign. So important now, maybe more than ever, to make sure that you're taking care of yourself physically and emotionally and mentally. So anyway, that is how we will open. And then Aubrey, talk to us a little bit about some of the things that you rolled out last week.
Yeah, so just want to remind everybody about a few things that we want to keep top of mind over the coming weeks and months. Of course, to go along with what Stephanie was talking about in regards to our incentive campaign, HealthWorks has also rolled out an app that they can that all of us can log into and utilize and participate in our wellness program. It's an awesome way to stay connected, to easily get up to date on what you need to do still. And you can even complete some of the tasks directly from the app. So that's the Healthy Path app. You will want to log into your wellness portal and you can find the information there. It was in our email last week. And it's also on our Centra People website. You can access the instructions for downloading and getting into that app right from there. One of the other things we want to remind you about that came out last week is our COVID Wellbeing Toolkit. So remember, this is a great resource to you as caregivers as we walk through this season. It has workouts in there that you can complete. It has information about our EAP services. It has information about COVID, about staying safe during this season, but just lots of material there for you to consider, even once we are stepping outside of some of the things that have been put in place due to COVID more recently. So just keep that top of mind. Make sure that you download a copy and have an opportunity to review that. One other thing that we also rolled out last month, and you'll notice now that it's May, it's hard to believe it's already May. We have a new format for our wellness newsletter that covers each of our tenants. So there will be a new one for May that you can tap into. Lots of information on how to stay socially connected, how to stay physically active, how to get involved in the community, all things related to those 5 tenets of well-being that we've been talking about this year, and how you can stay healthy in each one of those areas, even during this COVID season. So I encourage you to take a look at the May edition that will be out all month.
Awesome. Yeah. And I think that as we transition out, we know that just a few days ago, the governor made the announcement about slowly opening the state. And so in the coming weeks, we will have more information about like when the Y will reopen and kind of what that looks like as we transition. But that Wellbeing Toolkit is such a great tool, not just now, but in the future. Because as we talked about, well-being is should be top of mind all of the time, but most especially now, and as we transition back into a new state of normal. So, a few other things that are going on organization wide. You may have gotten an email about cell phone decommissioning. That does not affect everybody, that affects about 1,600 employees. If you happen to be one of those caregivers, you can go to Working Advantage. It's a free program you can sign up for. You can locate that through Centra People, and there are different discounts and things that you can sign up for just for being a Centra employee. And so we encourage you to do that. There have also been some talk about local cell companies that will give Centra discounts. We don't have any of that confirmed, but if you happen to maybe know of some places and want to pass that along, or maybe email Aubrey and myself to let us know, we're happy to share that as well. So for those of you who will be transitioning to your own data plan. So that's something happening org-wide. And then also, to talk a little bit about service awards. So last year, Aubrey, I know that you headed that up, and obviously being under restrictions of 10 people or less currently, and then even later on 50 or less, service awards as a whole banquet will not be happening, but we will be sending out communication soon around how to appreciate service milestones and how to recognize those milestones in your own departments. So stay tuned, but FYI, I don't know if anybody was actually thinking that we would have service awards with a couple hundred people in the next couple weeks in May, but just to confirm, that is not happening. So so we've talked about that. And then I think the last thing that I was thinking about was our DEV, so the dependent eligibility verification. That ends Monday, May 11th. So if you have not, we're at 95%. Is that what you said, Aubrey?
Yes, 95%.
So for the 5% of you, we do not want you to lose benefits, and it is not a passive verification. So you do have to send in your information. We encourage you to do that today, not to wait until the very last minute, but to go ahead and get that in. All right, 2 additional things, Aubrey, if you'll take us out talking about the Heart Walk, and then also talking about employee discounts.
Yeah, so the Heart Walk, just as a reminder, has officially been changed. I believe it's June 25. They are planning to host that at Riverfront Park downtown. But of course, if we do still have some restrictions in place, more to come on what that would look like. But they have officially moved that, and they will plan to keep that date solid. So that's the quick update reminder for the Heart Walk. In terms of employee discounts, just to remind you about what Stephanie was saying earlier in regards to Working Advantage, that site is available to all Centra caregivers. They can access it, and you just log in and put in some information to determine that you are a Centra employee, usually like your Centra email address. I think there might be a code you need to use. But all of those things are available, and they change their options and opportunities. I think it's monthly, so there could be some great deals on there from month to month that you can use. We have a couple other options. I think it's corporate discounts, work perks, a few other ways that you can get just employee discounts. So we will share some links on this email so you can access those. And we just encourage you to go sign up and find ways that you can take advantage of all of the discounts that we have available to our caregivers.
Great. Yeah. And let's also not forget about the COVID discounts that are in place currently. Not sure how long those will stay in effect, but we talked about some of them last week with Starbucks and with IHOP and North Face, just to name a few of my favorites, Krispy Kreme, etc. PB, or PB, is it PB? BP. Now you see where my mind is. I was thinking about peanut butter, but you can go get peanut butter, or you could go get gas at BP and get 50 cents off a gallon. I think last week I said 50% off. So something about me and BP and PB and all of that, I just am not processing. But anyway, those are COVID discounts. Have a good laugh on me. And Centra, thanks so much for joining us once again for COVID Wellbeing. We hope that you have a great week. We want to encourage you to think well, to be well, and to do well. See you next time.